Hello, my name is Megan and I have 286 books on my physical TBR. And here's the thing, Slump Nation, population me. Guys, it's been bad out here.
It's been the worst week of my life, actually.
Oh, God,
I'm so sorry.
Life has been very stressful for the last couple of weeks and my routine has been out of whack. My reading has been out of whack. I haven't had the brain space. Some people when they're stressed love reading. I can't. If life is shit, I can't read. And I have started and then postponed multiple reading vlogs, which I never do. But like I was working on a really, really big TBR200 episode where I would be reading really like momentous books on the TBR, and it was proving the pressure was too much. The pressure was too much. And so I was on reading sprints lately with my patrons. I was trying to think of another vlog to do because nothing was working. The books I was reading, it wasn't the right moment for them. And I remembered that one of my lovely patrons, Emma, every year makes me a bingo board to read books for my TBR. And I knew that Emma had made one and I hadn't slotted it in. I was like, oh, perfect. So I decided maybe it's time to let a bingo board pick what I read. Here is the bingo board for this year. And let me cut to actually me on reading sprints with my patrons, figuring out what line or column of this I wanted to read the books from. This is the bingo board. So I would do like a line of one of these. Is there a line of these that sounds not terrible to me? What would I want to read? Can't Spell Trees Without Tea is very lighthearted, so I am leaning towards, is that the first one? Okay, and you know what? A Naked in Death Nora Roberts I think would be quite readable. I'm feeling this line, and I could maybe start, do you know what? I think I'd probably start the JD Robb, the Nora Roberts. Middle of the Night, Riley Sager's easy to read. This is gonna be easy to read. And then that's Frances Harding. I've not read Middle of the Night yet, no. Let's do this video. Let's do the bingo board video. Yay! Okay guys, I feel better about that. I feel like I'm gonna start with Naked in Death because I know it will be like formulaic, Nora Roberts, like that feels safe to me right now. I need something formulaic. So yeah, that is the line that we are gonna be trying to read. It's filled with books that I feel like I can do. They are all in the kind of brain space that I have available to me right now. So shall we just dive into it? I'm gonna hit bingo. It's gonna decide what I read. I'm just desperate to get back into reading. I have a deep desire to read. It's just not happening. So let's see how it goes. Also bear with me, I haven't been vlogging for weeks, so like I gotta remember how to do that. But anyways, shall we get into it and let a bingo board pick what I read? Hello everyone, let me tell you what's been happening very, very briefly. If you don't care, skip ahead, because the culprit is right here. Say hello, Scully. Yeah, I'm talking about you. She really likes kissing me. Her and Dita are kissers. Basically, long story short, skip ahead if you're not interested, she was really ill. Both her and her brothers, who I don't know if I've told you guys this on the video, but my mum and dad actually adopted her two brothers, her litter mates, as well. So we've all got these kittens and it's actually helpful because we've been able to see that the same thing is happening. So they had their second vaccinations, which I just want to say, everyone, I am not anti-vax. I am the least anti-vax person that you'll ever meet, but they had their vaccinations and they all got really ill. So they all had the same symptoms of like vomiting, diarrhea, losing a lot of weight, temperature, all of that. And I was really worried about her. I went to the vets a lot. I basically was living at the vets. Also, her and Dita's progress together, initially before she was ill, got set back a bit, but after the vaccination. So she started like, you know, not reacting as well to Dita. And so they actually haven't been in contact for like 2 weeks now. And we're gonna start reintroducing them today. But, so fingers crossed that goes well. But yeah, she was just really ill, and they all had this same cycle where they were going up and down, and like we were trying loads of different things, and I was sobbing in that vet's office many times. So it's just been a bit stressful, and like all of my life has been like her and trying to get her well again, but touch wood, she seems good now. Touch wood. She's not eating as much today, and I'm like, holy shit. But I think after she got better, she's been eating loads. And I think she's been trying to bulk up. Like, she's gained a lot of weight all of a sudden. So she's doing well. Anyways, in that time I've been away, did read for the first book for the bingo, Naked in Death by J.D. Robb. Here's the thing. This is simultaneously, it was perfect for me. Like, it was what I needed to be reading. I did not want to be reading it. She's hitting herself in the face with her back legs. It was simultaneously everything that I needed to be reading right now, and I also did not really like it.
I hate to say that, but it's true.
So, if you don't know, this is the In Death series by J.D. Robb, which is Nora Roberts. Okay, this is our girl Nora. And this is her crime, romance, long series. There are 60 books plus in this series. Needless to say, I ain't continuing. There's 60 plus books in this series. We're following Detective Eve Dallas. It's set in the near future, so I think this is set in like 2050, 2060. And we're following Eve, who is a cop, and in this book, she's investigating a series of murders against prostitutes. And we also get introduced to who I assume, I don't know if she'll have multiple love interests, but I assume that he is going to be her love interest for the series. And I hated how this was written. I did not.
You may not hold the space for me, and that's okay. But that's a hill I'm gonna fucking die on.
I think this is poorly written. And like, who the fuck am I to say? I need to scoot back a bit. I feel like I'm really close, but I'm on a beanbag. So let me just scoot my ass back. I think it's really badly written. No, but I think there is something of the conventions of a genre as real subgenre that perhaps I don't understand. Because this really reminds me of the Stephanie Plum series I read. It also reminds me of some aspects I don't like about Finlay Donovan. These kind of crime romance books and how it balances the two of those. I don't enjoy, and I think often feels cheap and lazy and subpar. But again, I feel the same way. No, hang on. I'm having an internal conflict because I was like, I feel the same way about romantasy, right? Like, I love fantasy books. I love romance books. I don't like romantasy because I feel like it does neither of them well. I was going to say maybe I don't like mix of genres, but I love, like, historical, fantastical mysteries. That's, like, my perfect cross-section. If you give me a fantastical, historical mystery, I love that. So I don't know what's going on here. And I don't think it's just, like, adding romance to these genres that I don't like, because I like romance in other permutations. But there's just something about this specific, like, woman solving crime with these love interests that I think has a certain tone and a certain cadence to it in terms of the convention of the genre that I don't enjoy. And like, who am I to say? It's Nora fucking Roberts. Do you know what I mean? Who am I to say it's poorly written? But I do think it is. I was not invested in the characters. I was not invested in the relationship. This is written in 1995, guys. This is written in 1995. There are dynamics in the relationship that I do not enjoy. I don't think it would be written like that today. Let me just say that. Like, she sets a boundary and he walks over that boundary again and again and again. And it's always framed as, like, he knew what was best for her. Like, he knew the right thing to do for her. And he knew that, like, pushing that boundary would actually be the best thing for her. Excuse me. She says, I have trauma. I don't want you breaking into my apartment anymore. And guess what? He keeps breaking into her apartment.
Man.
So, I'm giving it 2.5 because I can say all that and also say, like, hi, darling. Yeah. And also say, I didn't hate my reading experience because it was what I needed in the moment. I needed No Thoughts Had Empty. I needed Easy Breezy Beautiful Comic Girl. And I think this is in many ways, it's, trigger warning, this talking about some horrible things. It talks about child abuse. And it talks about these things in a way that I think is done without a level of care that you would see today. It feels very 1990s way of talking about prostitution, sexual abuse, child abuse, rather than how it'd be spoken about modern day. A part of me does feel like I'm insane because I know Mara, who from Books Like What, who loves Nora Roberts, does enjoy this series. And I think some of my problems with it come from the time period at which it was written. And I wonder if I would feel differently if I read one of the newer editions, because I know sometimes she says, like, oh, you could read this one as a standalone, you could read this one as a standalone, this one in this, there's like 2 a year. What up? Maybe I could read and enjoy one of the newer ones, but am I inclined to do that? Not really. I really enjoyed Obsession by Nora Roberts, which I read on Mara's recommendation. I think I gave it like a 4, which is another kind of crime, less detective, more like cold case, small town mystery with a romance. and renovation. She loves renovation content, doesn't Nora? Apparently. I really enjoyed that one. So I'm not like anti Nora Roberts in the future, but this just did not work for me. It didn't work for me. I think I'm gonna start next. I think I want to start Can't Spell Trees Without T. Maybe I'll just work my way along the bingo board in order, because I think that was next. So yeah, I think I'm gonna pick up Can't Spell Trees Without T. Which so many of my patrons, because I just had a week-long, I haven't been vlogging, but I have been doing a week-long readathon over on my Patreon. Loads of them said that they loved it. So I've been yapping. Shut her up. Oh my God, we need to vlog more, because you know what? I have some books to haul. We may have just got one off the TBR. We may be adding more than one. So let's go have a look. Okay, I have some books. Technically, I mean, I guess I've bought one of these, but it's a subscription. Sue me, I didn't cancel my book subscription for the summer, but I didn't actively go out my way and purchase something. But let's start with, I believe it's from Esty, one of my lovely patrons, has sent me something. So let's look at that first, and then we will look and see Mind's site as well. But what has Esty gifted to me? Oh my God, this is so exciting. Is there a note? Esty, there's no note, but I know it's from you. We have got The Book Witch by Meg Schaefer. This was one of my most anticipated releases, thanks to Esty. So I believe this is about a book witch who can hop between books. Very Pages and Co. Tilly and the Book Wanderers, whatever that is, but like an adult version. I feel like Esty told me that she goes to Nancy Drew. I feel like we go to a Nancy Drew book, and I was like, give it to me. Esty really highly recommended this. We go to Golden Age detectives, we go in fantasy books, we go in romance books. It's a magical love letter to adventure, book boyfriends, and the joys of reading from the best-selling author of The Wishing Game. I am so excited for this. So Esty, thank you so much. It sounds so good. It sounds so good. I love the idea of like, you know, paying homage to stories and to reading and to, oh my God. Esty, thank you so much. I will have to thank Esty for that straight away. And then I am intrigued to see what is this month's Mind site book. So if you don't know, this is a Luma Crates mystery thriller Dark Academia book box. Our first month, this is the second one. The first one was the Ending Writes Itself by Evelyn Clark. There we go, I got there at the end. And I don't know what it is this time. I knew from the clues last time that it was The Ending Writes Itself. I don't know what it is this time. It's probably gonna be a book I've never heard of because the clues did not give it away to me. As always, I will be rating what I think of the edition. You know, how much I like all of the designs and all of that. Let's see what it is. Ooh. Ooh. Okay. Fellow Creatures by Emma Lowther. Don't know anything about this book. I don't know. I assume this isn't what the normal cover is. Good madam, let me see your face. If my life can ever be of any use, you come and take it. What is this book about?
Being a bit saucy.
We're at one of London's most elite drama schools. And our girl Shannon meets Victoria. She becomes part of Victoria's exclusive set of promising young things. Interesting. Okay, here are the sprayed edges for you to see. Let's look at the end pages. Ooh, interesting art style. Interesting. Oh, that is pretty. That is pretty. Like a puppet on a string. Okay. Here, oh, and this is like glossy. Oh, I like the glossiness. Okay, it's easier for me to compare what they did with The Ending Writes Itself because I knew what the actual cover was for that, and I knew what the story was about, so I knew what some of the nods and the winks and the choices were. But like, I'm kind of vibing with this. This feels more like an autumn book to me, though. I don't know if this is the summer release, but it seems to be, you know, a story of codependency, of, you know, like obsession gone wrong. So I'm intrigued. I have literally not heard anything about this book, Fellow Creatures. Let me know if any of you have, because it's now on my TBR, but I have not heard a single thing about it. So intrigued to see what I think of that. I think I gave The Ending Writes Itself a 7 out of 10. I think I'd probably give this a 7 out of 10 also in terms of like the design choices. Like, it's all nice. I don't know if there's anything here that I'm like, oh, like obsessed with, you know, but it's nice. I'm gonna go start, here it is. I'm gonna go start Can't Spell Treason Without T. I'll let you know my thoughts on them a little bit of the ways through, but I'm hoping for just a nice, cozy, fantastical time. Hello everyone, how are we all doing? I have started Can't Spell Treason Without T, but I'm only like 80 pages in, so I want to read a little bit more before I check in with you, but hopefully today. My game is to probably finish that today, so hopefully I'll be seeing a lot of you today. But I want to take a moment to shout out a book to you guys that I am very excited about. This is not adding to the TBR. This was on the TBR at the start of the video, but the book is The Heirs by Farida Ibike-Iyemede. Guys, this is one of my most anticipated releases this year because let me tell you, the synopses of Farida Ibike-Iyemede's books are always like the best sounding thing you've ever heard. Shout out, thank you to Usborne YA for sponsoring this video. But this book, guys, oh my god, it sounds incredible. Oh my god, it sounds like everything I've ever wanted. So the setup of this is there are 5 prodigies, 5 genius children who over the years have been adopted by this billionaire. He's been like collecting really clever children and adopting them, I think to like, you know, carry on his legacy perhaps or whatever. And there's an annual ball being held, their father's annual ball, and he is murdered. He's murdered at the ball. Love to see it. We love a murder at a ball. And it turns out basically everyone at this ball had a reason to want this man dead. Secrets come out, you know, truths are revealed. Their father had many, many enemies, and perhaps is it one of them as well? Could one of them have murdered their father? It sounds so good. It sounds so intriguing. Being in this mansion with all these secrets and these betrayals and everything. It just sounds so good. It sounds so good. I can't wait to pick it up. I love the like, also just the vibes that the cover gives. I'm just like eating this up. Look at it. Oh my god, it looks so good. Early reviews have been really good. There's also, it seems, some mixed media elements, like we open up with like a magazine article and we're moving about in time a little bit. I wouldn't call it split timeline, but we're kind of like jumping around in time throughout. It sounds so good. So I will leave a link down below for you guys to go check this out. But I think this could be like one of the big YA murder mysteries of the season, of the summer, of the year, perhaps. I'm so excited to read it and see what I think of it. It just like, oh, every part of this book sounds so incredibly good to me. And I think like we're going to be going back, secrets of lain dormant for decades could be revealed. So super excited to see what I think of it. Leave a link down below if you guys check it out. I'm going to go prep some lunch. I'm not going to film it because you've seen me make this lunch loads. It's like this orzo, chicken feta orzo that I make. I'm going to go make that. And then hopefully I'll read a lot more. So hopefully I'll see you halfway through Can't Spell Treason Without T before the end of the day. That is the goal. Hello everyone. I've just realised every clip I've filmed so far in this vlog has been in this room. I promise I go other places in my house. But how are we doing? I'm on reading sprints with my patrons now. So that's why I'm on this camera and that's why we gotta sit here because I've got 7 minutes left of the sprint. I am halfway through Can't Spell Treason Without T. Let me give you my thoughts on this one. So this is a cozy fantasy where we're following a couple, a lesbian sapphic couple who are like already together. And one of them is a mage and one of them is a queen's guard. They both have these very important jobs. They are girlies who are doing work, but they kind of like had enough and they want to be together. And so they decide to run away together and open up a bookshop / tea shop, basically. That's it. It's very Legends and Lattes coded, if I do say so myself.
It's a conspiracy theory that I'm actually interested in.
It might have a little bit. It might have a little bit of the plot of Legends and Lattes going on about it. That's a coffee shop, this is a bookshop and a tea shop. Here's the thing. I'm enjoying it. I'm having a nice time reading it. I like the characters. I like all the cozy, like, listen. I love Legends and Lattes. I love the spell shop, which is like a jam spell shop thing. I love anything. I love cozy fantasy where there is a hint of like mundanity or like the logistics of running a shop, like them making the teas, them sourcing the books, them hiring this like little street urchin off the street who they like rescue. I love all that. However, there is something about the writing itself, the writing style that I'm not connecting to in the way I did with like something like Legends and Lattes and the Spell Shop. When I have equivalents in the genre, in the plot that I adore, it's hard to not compare them. And there's something about the writing in this that I'm just not as connected to. I was just saying on stream, like every cozy fantasy is gonna have a little bit of like trying to show the beauty of life and like, isn't life wonderful, and we get to love and like all of that shit. And I love it in other books, but in this one, it just hasn't quite landed right for me sometimes, and it's felt a bit inauthentic, and it's felt a little bit like, this is what we say in cozy fantasy books, so I have to say it. I think some people, if they're like not in love with the writing style, they can still love a book. But for me, that is, I always say writing style is the number one most important thing for me. Like I either vibe with your writing or I do not. And there's moments with the writing that I don't vibe with. However, I recognize I'm the problem. It's me.
Oh, she's such a pain in the ass.
Oh my God.
She's such a drama
She's such a pain in the
Stay
ass.
home, dude.
Because I am slumpy, right? I am not live, laugh, loving when it comes to reading. I just didn't like fucking Nora Roberts, Naked in Death, and I thought I was gonna laugh because Nora loves it. So I recognize part of it is me. Part of this is me. I am finding it not as easy to read as I sometimes do. My mind is a bit scrambled. I don't have as much routine because I'm like trying to split myself between two cats still and make sure they get enough love and attention and are happy. I just want my cats to be happy. Anyways, have we spoken about that? I can't remember what I've spoken to you about. They're still separate. Scully's up here. She's happy. Can you see her? You can maybe see a paw. But there's moments of this that I'm really enjoying, and I feel like it's becoming more and more moments that I'm really enjoying. It's also interesting following a couple who are already together. Part of me is like, I love that. We don't have enough of that, right? Like stories of couple who are already in love and like living their life. But part of me does love the fall, you know? As someone who's only ever planning on having one of them in her life because she's freaking ended up basically married to the guy she fell in love with at 16. I like to live vicariously through other people. And the moment when you fall is so special. So part of me feels like that is a little bit missing. I don't know. I'm enjoying it. It's just not going to be a 5-star. I'm having a lot of fun reading it. I'm enjoying it. I'm reading it with my eyeballs, guys, which considering I'm in a slump is crazy. That's crazy of me to be doing. So I want to get close to finishing this tonight. I need to, if I want to get this vlog out, when I want to get this vlog out. I would like to like it enough to want to continue the sequel. Let's go see Scully, shall we? Do you want to go see baby Scully? Hi, baby. Do you have something to say? I hope that's made everyone's day. I hope that sounds as good as I imagined it sounded. Alrighty, I'm gonna go read some more, but I'm gonna go make some spag bowl actually. And then I'll read some more this evening. And I'll love my skull. I love you. You're up too high to kiss. We like to kiss. Anyways, I'll see you guys in a bit.
Dripping off words that you say when the boat slows down. There's a break. Color in the turn of a phrase, curving a moment in space to spend something
I've just pulled out the camera and Scully has come running over. Sorry, I know I said I was going to film somewhere other than this room last time we spoke, but my camera's here. There's loads of stuff in the... Oh, my fan's on. There's loads of cat stuff downstairs that I need to sort out, like cat tents, cat tunnels, everything cat that you can imagine. But here's the thing. we need to talk because I have finished Can't Spell Treason Without T. And I'm gonna give this a 3-star. I'm sorry, I really didn't love this. There were moments I did enjoy it. But they were moments. They were moments. It's an interesting one because I feel like I agree with the reviews when I read both the 4-star reviews and the 2-star reviews. And that's an interesting place to be. You may be thinking, Megan, you gave it a 3. So I'm trying to fix this camera. That's better. You know, you gave it a 3. That makes sense. But like to agree with people who really, really enjoyed the book and people who probably really disliked the book is an interesting place to be. I was at times invested in the plot, in the storyline. I love being in a bookshop, a tea shop, and the quaintness of that. There were moments I'd be reading it and I'd think to myself, I'm really enjoying this now. I'm having a good time. But then it would just become boring again. Like it would kind of be like I'd work up to the enjoyment and then I'd stop reading for the day and then I'd pick the book up and I'd be bored again. I'd have to like work my enjoyment level up. Scully wants to fight my laptop. Okay, she's running away. One of my biggest problems, right? We're following a couple who are like already together before the book. So you don't follow the fall, which I think I mentioned last time. You know, maybe that has something to do with it. I didn't have a problem like the kind of not following the fall of the romance and then falling for each other. But my problem with this dynamic, this relationship, was the way they spoke to each other. The way they communicated felt too perfect. Too perfect. One of them would say to another, tell me how you're feeling, my love. And the other one would like communicate a problem that they're having in a way that didn't upset the other one, that was like perfectly like rooted in sense and in like grounded, which you don't necessarily feel when you're feeling emotions, right? You may say something rash or whatever, and they'd always resolve it. It was like very perfect.
It's not realistic. It's just not realistic.
And it had just none of the messiness of real human communication to me. Like there was, or like, they'd be like, they would have an argument and one of them would be like, this has devolved into an argument too quickly, like stopping the argument in its tracks. And that doesn't happen. If you're having an argument, you're having an argument. You know what I mean? Listen, I'm not one to be like, oh, well, this is too woke or like, I don't know. But it felt very therapy speak. It just felt too perfect. It felt too perfect. The way they were speaking was like perfectly written to not upset the other one, or if they did give them miscommunication, they would resolve that miscommunication straight away. Like, oh, I didn't mean that, you know? And it just took me out of it. I was like, come on, make each other a bit mad. You know what I mean? There needs to be some, I don't know. I don't necessarily need conflict, but it felt like we kept like going up to a conflict, right? Like stuff would happen that they didn't agree with the way each other was acting or the decisions the other one was making. It wasn't like it was like sunshine and rainbows. Things were happening that were a conflict in their shared life. And it felt like we kept like almost getting there or like going there in a roundabout way, in a way that felt very, unsatisfying to me. I mean, yeah, I enjoyed it in moments, but overall it was not for me. So, I think, guys, and this is pretty major, let me get it behind me, I don't think I'm going to read the sequel that I have. I have an arc of this that I requested, not saying it was a sequel. I don't think I'm gonna continue in the series, and so we've gotten 2 books off of the TBR here. Not 1, but 2, with only reading 1 book. I just think I have a lot of books on the TBR, and I don't need to read this one. So, I think I'm going to start middle of the night next. I think a Riley thriller could be... Actually, I'm just making my way along the bingo line. So I'm going to start middle of the night next. We'll see what I think. Might check in halfway. Might just read the whole thing, depending on how, like, quick, easy breezy, beautiful cover girl it is. Depending on how many thoughts I have for a Riley thriller. Hello everyone. How are we doing? We are at the beach. We just popped down to the beach. This was not on my evening plans, but Tom got home from work. I was feeling pretty rough today. I spoke less a little bit. I got hormonal issues going on. They're not fun. And yeah. So I was planning on getting in bed as early as possible, but Tom was like, why don't we go sit on the beach, you can read, and then we'll go for dinner at one of our favourite places. And I was like, you know what? Hell yeah. So we just popped down to the beach to have a read. I'm holding the mic so I can't hold it up. I haven't got the dust jacket on it anyway. But I'm just under halfway through Middle of the Night. well, a little bit under half through. I'm 120 pages in, but I feel equipped to talk to you about this book. I'm enjoying this quite a bit. Here's the thing. Okay, synopsis. We're following Riley Sager's first male main character. It's really brave, bold step for Mr. Riley to take.
You deserve an Oscar. You actually deserve an award.
When he was a kid, he was camping in his back garden with his friend in a tent. He woke up, the tent had been cut from the outside and his friend was missing. And he's now moved back into his family home, 30 years later. And strange things start occurring. The presence of his friend, he feels around him. He feels his ghost, perhaps. It's a little bit of a haunted story, perhaps. I feel like we've just... Whoa! Can you guys see the birdies? Shit, I don't know if I caught that. A whole load of birdies just flew up in the air. Here's the thing. I have been Slump Nation, as we know. I've actually, since I read Can't Spell Choosing Out TA, I read another book for a future vlog, because I had to read it for my book club, that I gave 2 stars. Like, it's been so horrible. I haven't been enjoying my reading. This book, it's just a Mr. Riley classic, you know what I mean? Like, I've read every Riley Sager. This is the only one I haven't read, I think, that's out. It feels like coming back to a friend, right? This is an author I've read many times before. It's an author who I trust. It's an author whose writing I enjoy, and so there's that ease to it. But also, I haven't read many thrillers this year. I was looking back on it. I was on reading sprints, my patrons this morning, and I thought, hang on. What was the last thriller I read? And I've read some, like, I read Dissection of a Murder, which I really enjoyed, but that's very, like, court setting, court case, like lawyers. It's so court heavy. I haven't really read this year your classic American thriller. I've read some like UK kind of based stuff, but there is something about like small town Americana. This one, whoa, there's a motorbike going past. I don't know if you can hear that. This one is very pronounced, like it's set in a cul-de-sac, like suburbia, the American dream, you know what I mean? Like, that aspect of it is very pronounced. And I do love occasionally, like, your kind of stereotypical American thriller, small town, cold case, true crime, detectives, like, you know, I do enjoy a bit of that, and I haven't really read much of it. Do you know who I really want to read that I've never read? I really want to read a Mary Kubica. I'm hoping that her release this year, I think it's called It's Not Her, I'm hoping that that's in the Goodreads Choice Awards this year, because I'm interested. I mean, I could read it anyway, but like, will I get around to it? I'm barely reading. At the moment, we're just trying to focus on the TBR. So I'm hoping that I'll have an excuse to read it. But yeah, I'm having a nice time. At the moment, it feels like a very strong 4. You know, that's where I'm at. I'm really enjoying it. I find, the setup interesting. I find the character voice enjoyable to read from. I think it's laying a lot of little tiny mysteries and questions very well about all of these different characters. There's like a little something here and a little something here and a little bit, what's the truth there and what's happening there, and suggesting an event of something that happened to us in the past, because we're reading most in the present, but we do have flashbacks to the past, like when his friend went missing. Whoa, birdies! Ah! I don't know if I got them again. I'm trying to show the birdies off. That I think is making me really intrigued to read on, you know, like those little questions, little hints, little like, that's a little strange, you know, like there's something going on with his mum, or there's something going on with like what him and his friend did earlier the day before, or there's just like these little hints of stuff. So I'm having a great time. I'm hoping to read as much of it today as I can. We'll see how much I get around to. Because I'm going to go for dinner, and then I want to, like, probably have a bath tonight. Then I want to spend some time with my cats and make them happy. So yeah, we'll see. But I'm having a really great time reading it. So yeah, we're going to go for dinner tonight. Maybe I'll film a little bit of that. It's pretty good. I feel like I remember hearing mixed things about it, but I feel like it's meeting me at a good time. It's meeting me at the right time for this book, you know? Anyways, let's go read some more, shall we? Hello. How are we all doing? We are in my office again. I'm about to take a thumbnail, hence why we're here. I will film somewhere else in the house in this video, I promise. I have finished Middle of the Night by Riley Sager, and I'm giving this 4 stars. I really enjoyed it. I had a good time. Here's the thing with this one though. Is it one of the Rileys where he's doing something like really imaginative, really different, like House Across the Lake, for example, or I feel like Survive the Night has aspects of this, even though I didn't love that one. No, it is not one of those. Is it, on the other hand, one of his thrillers where he does like the basic thriller to a really high standard that I feel like is accessible to everyone and like everyone can enjoy it, like The Only One Left or The Last Time I Lied, which is probably my favourite Riley. No, I don't think it's perfect. I don't think it's doing anything new, anything different like some of his other books do, but I had a nice time. Now, I wouldn't recommend this as your first Riley, right? But if you're a Riley completionist, I think you'll enjoy it. Listen, it was seemingly what I needed to get me out of a slump. It seemingly is the first book in a while that I've not disliked to some degree, and I've like really enjoyed my reading experience and wanted to pick up and found easy to read. And for that I say, thank you, Riley. And I do think the first half is stronger than the second half, but I think it had some interesting twists. I do think the ending is pretty satisfying, and there's some themes that he's obviously running throughout the book to do with like parenthood and stuff like that I think has a satisfying end. Scully. But I honestly don't have many thoughts on it. It was just really nice to read a book and enjoy the reading experience of it. And I think perhaps because of that, I didn't think too critically about it. I didn't think too in deep about it. I just read it and had a nice time. And that's what I've got to say. I know not the most insightful review. I think it has interesting characters. I really enjoy the setting of the cul-de-sac. It feels very claustrophobic. It allows us to kind of like meet all these different characters and different families in a really natural way, but a really interesting way. Now onto something ridiculously exciting. Are we ready? I'm not ready. I'm gonna cry. As many of you all know, The Unicorn Hunters by Catherine motherfucking Arden is one of my most anticipated releases for this year. And I'm also on a book buying ban this summer. I have yet to buy a book, and we are like halfway through July. June, July, August, I was on a book buying ban. I'm doing okay so far. But many of you said to me, when I said I was going on a book buying ban, we'll allow it if you break the ban to buy Unicorn Hunters. And I was thinking about it. I was probably going to do that. But then one of my lovely patrons, Barbara, who I've been lucky enough to get to know a bit, reached out and said she accidentally got a second copy of the Fairy Loot edition of the Unicorn Hunters, and would I like it? And I said, yes! So it's arrived. I'm not ready to look at this.
Buzzing!
Oh my god, I'm so excited for this book. Oh my god. Okay. Oh! I see it. Let me in. I have seen pictures of this special edition. Oh my goodness. Okay, so the dust jacket, beautiful. Love the dust jacket, love the sprayed edges, but if I'm not mistaken, the true standout of this is the hardback. Oh my god, there's something, oh my god, there's something about this design that feels so nostalgic to me.
Like I was like, this is like art. Like I love it. Like there's something about this.
I don't know, oh, I love it. Oh my god, I cannot wait to read this. And this is a very unique edition, and it's going to be interesting to review this because I think this edition, the Fairy Loot one in particular, has 20,000 extra words than the usual one. And I just think that's such an interesting idea. And it's not shown which ones are the extra words. But am I like gagging to get 20,000 more words from Catherine Arden? Yes, I will read anything that woman writes. And so to have more of it, it's just so exciting. Oh my god. I'm so happy. I love it so much. It's so beautiful. Oh my god. I'm so excited. Guys, when am I going to read The Unicorn Hunters? I'm going to have to read it soon. It's going to be 5 stars. It's going to be maybe my favourite book of the year. It's going to be maybe my favourite book of the year. Let's be honest with ourselves. Okay, I'm going to try and get a lot of reading done. And I'm going to start Pomona Afton Can So Solve a Murder, which is next on the bingo line, We're almost there. Well, no, we've still got 2 books to read, but it feels like we're almost there. So I'll see you when I have some thoughts on that. Hello everyone, one of my neighbours has just started playing music really loudly, so hopefully you can't hear it too badly. I ended up finishing Pomona Afton Console Sober Murder. I have read it all. Okay, this one's gonna be tricky to talk about. A little bit tricky. I'm giving this 3.5, which is a good rating. I enjoyed this, but it is, can you fit in there? I'm not sure even she thinks that she can fit in there. No, she's moving on up. It was fine. It was fine. The premise of this is we're following Pomona Afton, who is a hotel heiress. So she lives in the hotel, rent-free. She's a trust fund baby. She never had to work for anything in her life. Her grandmother's murdered. She discovers her grandmother's body. There's a clause in her grandmother's will that says, if I die of unnatural causes, my whole family gets cut off from everything. Because I think she was afraid that someone was going to murder her, which did happen. And so yeah, she is suddenly having to make it on her own, and she decides to try and solve the murder in order to get her life back. She also, there is a bit of a romance in this, which we'll get onto with the guy that she moves in with. And it was fine. Listen, I enjoy Tinsley Mortimer trying to solve a murder.
Tinsley was the it girl. The it girl. It girl. She was the it girl.
The premise of this hotel heiress, this rich, kind of stuck up, oblivious to real life girly, trying to solve a murder, is fun. And I enjoyed the reading experience of this, but I am not going to remember this book in 2 years. I'm sorry. I think it's a fun time. I think if you're like looking for something you can just kind of put on as an audiobook whilst you're doing stuff maybe, that's the level of enjoyment it is for me. It's not going to stick with me. It's not going to be a book that I recommend loads. And I think I have a problem with mystery X romance. This is our second one in the video. The second one in the video where it's a mystery and a romance, and I don't feel like it's doing either of them satisfactorily. Isn't that, what is that? Why do I not like that? Why do I not like it when romance is combined with other genres? That's what it's breaking down to. I like a romance book. I don't like a fantasy romance book. I don't like a mystery romance book. But yeah, obviously I didn't love the Nora Roberts, and I didn't love it in this one. I didn't give a anything about the romance. I didn't feel particularly connected to the romance. As someone who reads a lot of mystery, I think maybe this is a gateway into mystery. If you read more romance, maybe this is a good kind of first mystery. But there wasn't many twists and turns. There wasn't many clues. We kind of like made a list near the start of the book of everyone that we thought it could be, who had a motive for the murder, and we went down the list, crossing them off one by one, like interviewing them and being like, oh, okay, it wasn't you, and then moving on to the next one, you know? It just wasn't a satisfying mystery either. But I do think it's a fun book. I think it's a fun time. I think it's an enjoyable time. I love a good bit of Tinsley solving a murder. But yeah, it's not gonna stick with me, and this is a series I don't think, I won't be continuing the series. It felt a bit debut-y to me, and I don't think this is technically a debut because this author writes non-mystery rom-coms, just romance books, under a different name, and so yeah, it felt like a debut, and it's not a debut. That's not necessarily, and what do we mean by that? We all say that, don't we? We all say, oh, it's debut-y to me or whatever. What does that really mean? I think we all know what it means. I think it's a shorthand for some things. But anyways, it felt like a debut and it's not a debut. So I don't know. I don't really have many thoughts. Like, is it fun? Yes. Is it warm? Is it kind of cozy in a certain way? Yes. Is the character Pomona Afton a fun one to follow her journey throughout the book? Yes. These are all positives. But it's just not, already it's like one of the more forgettable books I've read this year, sadly. It's now time to get on to our final book of the vlog, The Lie Tree, which I am very excited about. I'm really looking forward to reading another Frances Harding. So yeah, I'll check in with you once I've read a little bit of that. Okay everyone. We have a bit of an issue, and I come here begging forgiveness. Here's the thing. I am 68 pages into The Lie Tree by Frances Harding, and I don't want to read it. I don't want to read it, but I don't want to unhaul it. I'm soft DNFing this book. Listen, I am bored. However, I love Frances Hardinge's writing. A Skin Full of Shadows by Frances Hardinge is like 5-star plus. There is something about this right now that I am not resonating with. It feels, whoa, Scully. Hey baby. It feels like it is dragging. I feel like I am wading through treacle with the pacing of these first like 70 pages trying to read it. It ain't working for me, but I do think it could work for me one day. I just think what this is not gonna work for me right now. I'm still in a very sensitive place with my reading. Just coming out of a slump, I feel like. And I feel like reading this would put me right back into the depths of a slump.
That threw me right back into the throes of PTSD.
So I'm gonna soft DNF it. I soft DNF books maybe like 2 or 3 times a year where I say, now's not the right time for me to read this, I'm gonna put it down, I'm gonna read something else. And I have never regretted doing that when I re-pick that book up. I've always enjoyed that book more when I re-pick it back up. So I feel like it is the right decision for me. I mean, what do I tell about this? We're following, I don't know if this is YA technically or a children's book. We're following this young girl who's like super into science. It is historical and, you know, she lives like a very rigid life and she wants like adventure outside of it. But yeah, not a lot has happened in those first 70 pages. So I feel fine with my decision to soft DNF. However, that does, I mean, with the bingo, I'm not gonna read 4 more books on this vlog. That it's been going on for like a month. I kid you not, because of my slump, this vlog has been happening for like a month. I'm not gonna read 4 more books to try and make bingo. So I guess we're counting this as bingo. If I was DNFing it for good and getting off the TBR, I'd feel no qualms about that because we're getting something off of the TBR. I am not in this instance. I am not getting something off of my TBR. I am just putting it down for now. So sorry I mean, I'm really sorry. That's not a very satisfying end to the video. I wish that we were not ending on this because I feel like my decision would have been the same if I'd read this earlier in the video because there is something that tells me I could love this. But right now I am pulling teeth trying to read this book. I'm so sorry. It's just not working for me thus far. But yeah, that means we kind of have bingo. I don't know if we should really count it, but like, I guess we have bingo. Thank you for like, you know, forgiving me. Just preemptively anticipating, please can I have your forgiveness in this instance.
I'm not one of those people that forgive and forget. I'm one of those people that fucking take score.
That does leave us on 284 books on the TBR. I would really like in my next vlog to get that below the 280s to get into the 270s because then it feels like we're really cooking. I mean, remember there was a time when we kept hovering around that 300 mark? We're gone from that, baby. We're never going back up to 300 again. I really believe it now. So 284, I mean, again, this is the lowest my TBR has been in so long. I don't know when the last time it was this low. But yeah, anyways, sorry that it is like a really unsatisfying end to this video. I promise my next video is going to be a really fun one. My next vlog, I should say, is going to be a really fun one because I don't know how long it's going to take. It's going to be the start of like a new mini series I'm doing within TBR200 where Scully's just started eating. I can't stop reading until I find a 5-star within specific parameters. And so who knows, but we're gonna get a 5-star. I'm by hook or by crook, I'm gonna get 10 more 5 stars. Not 10, 7 more 5 stars this year, so I can have 10 5 stars. Anyways, I will let you go. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon in another one. Bye.